With the BUTTKICKER Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. BUTTKICKER. The future is feeling.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Welcome back trackside once again, race fans, here to the Turn 3 Racing Network tonight. Swift MotorSports BUTTKICKER Silverback Tax Solutions Xfinity Series fires things off for the first time in the championship chase here in season number 4. How you doing? How you feeling out there in TV land, race fans? Glad you could all join us here tonight. As always, Dave in the Cave bringing you all the calls from trackside, and we're going to have ourselves one heck of a night here tonight for the Solo Cup 105 right here from Atlanta Motor Speedway. Track temperature pretty gruesome out there. A slick, slippery 123 degrees for these drivers to try to navigate around here in qualifying. That's right, qualifying session already underway. So what do you say we go ahead and get to some of your qualifying speed charts over there, left-hand side of your screen, as drivers begin to turn in those laps. We'll go ahead and get that up on screen for you, and there it is right there. Darren Clement, top of the speed charts. Quick time tonight, 31.72 out of that 32 machine. Roy Fernandez right there in second. David Elliott, Jason Stewart inside the top 5 with his qualifying effort. Tommy Haynes now going to jump inside the top 5. Jackson Bell out on track. Ron Shootin', Todd Cray here in the field here tonight. How about Justin Gann? Hal with that 30. Ayers iRacing Paints Ford Mustang get around the track tonight. Going to be interesting to watch all of these drivers trying to tackle this track tonight, trying to set themselves up for a run at the championship trophy when we head to Homestead Miami Speedway for championship week right here with Swift Motorsports on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Darren Clement still top of the speed charts, 2.5 minutes off of this 5-minute stopwatch for qualifying here. Nobody has anything for him. Todd Cray will make it inside the top 5 all the way up to 4th position. The 22's got one more shot at it. Can he get it done on lap number 2? Looks like he's struggling with a little bit of that pace. And as the time fades away on the stopwatch, music going to fade into the background, and we will begin to see a clearer picture of who will start where here tonight in the Solo Cup 105 for Swift Motorsports Butt Kicker Silverback Tax Solutions Xfinity Series 13 drivers on the speed chart. We have still got a handful out there left of putting their qualifying effort. How about the 84 of Josh Weinrich, last week's race winner at Darlington? Absolutely dominating performance at Darlington. Has not gotten the car. Has not climbed aboard that 84 Toyota Camry to try to put it at the top of the speed chart. So nobody, for the moment, can beat out Darren Clement at the front of this field. Quick time in qualifying belongs to the 32. A 31.71 is the pole time for now. Justin Gann on his second lap sits 4th with his first time lap. Can he make up just a handful more hundreds to get the job done and dethrone Darren Clement from that top spot? And it doesn't look like he's going to be able to that time around. Tough lap actually lost about 200ths of a second. So Gann not going to be able to drop Clement from the top of the speed charts, and that's going to be it here for qualifying 32 of Darren Clement. Gonna walk away with the pole award here tonight, and we're gonna step away for just a brief commercial break. Head back trackside for your national anthem and your starting lineup. Don't go anywhere, race fans. We're ready to go chase racing here tonight from Atlanta Motor Speedway. We'll be right back after this brief commercial break.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly wailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rackets regular, the boats bursting in out, gave
We come back trackside as drivers begin to make their way through final pre-race inspection and get to go. Championship racing here tonight. That's right, round number 1 here in the playoffs, kicking off tonight in the Solo Cup 105. Why don't we go ahead and get to some of your official business real quick. Let's see how the championship standings fall in line coming into the first of 5 championship races. Field of 16 in the championship run. Will whittle it down to just 12 drivers after Dover. So drivers have tonight, then they'll head to Dover before round 2 will start. And then those 12 will have to fight for the final 8 positions to see who will have a shot at Homestead Miami Speedway. Justin Gann, Todd Cray, Josh Weinrich, all right there, knotted up with each other, all with 3 race wins apiece. There you can see Ron Shute. He's kind of right there stuck in the middle with 1 race win to his back pocket. Rest of your top 16 all knotted up at those 1,000 points. And it is a who's who of who involved in this championship 16 here. Playoffs underway. It's about to get big. Will we see an upset? Well, I don't necessarily know that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers losing was an upset. I'm not quite sure. I don't know if anybody thinks that Tennessee losing to Cincinnati was an upset, but we'll see if we can't have a dark horse. What do you say we label it that way? A dark horse make a stand early here in this championship run. And there you can see most of the field beginning to make their way to the starting grid. So what do you say we get a little closer to the action, race fans? What do you say we go above the track right here on the front stretch? As you can hear those familiar bells beginning to ring in the background, you know the sounds, you know it's time to run down tonight's starting lineup in the Solo Cup 105, starting inside row number 1, your pole sitter at a East Coast Motorsports 3171 turned in. Darren Clement gonna start from the point just to his outside. The Indiana native Mike Rominger. Back in row 2 here tonight from Atlanta Motor Speedway, the Cuban Missile Rocket Roy Fernandez. And just to his outside, the 30 of Justin Gann. Back in row 3 here tonight, you will find David Elliott and Todd Cray. Row 4, 17 of Tommy Haynes, followed by the 5 of Chad Osborne. Jason Stewart and Jackson Bell will round out your top 10 here tonight. Back in row number 6, the Carolina native Ron Shute will try to see if he can't bring that 97 a little bit further up through this field. The 56 of John Wimbish will start just to his outside. Back in row 7, the 00 of Nick Hunt, followed by the 10 of Gary May. John Peels, Stephen Ayers Jr. back in row 8. And in row number 9, all alone, tail end of the field, Shotgun Sally here tonight is that 84 of Josh Weinrich. That's going to do it for your starting lineup, so we're going to go ahead and get ready to go. Green flag racing this time around. iRacing pace car will come to pit road. There it goes, and here we go. Green flag flies as music fades in the background. On the gas quick is that 32 of Clement, already a half a second advantage over Roy Fernandez, who's battling with Mike Rominger. Very close little battle right here. We'll stay tucked up close to these cars, trying to bring you all of the great shots around Atlanta Speedway. Down the back stretch, hot shoes here tonight. And Atlanta Motor Speedway will have to check in with that track temperature a little bit later if we can. Darren Clement gonna bring it around. He'll lead now. Lap number 1. We've seen so far this week neither pole sitters in the Ayers Eye Racing Paints ARCA Series or the Performance Truck Series were able to lead the first lap. So already a job well done out of that 32. Darren Clement trying to keep his machine up at the front of this field and trying to bring himself up a little bit further into the championship 16. Maybe set himself up to have a nice, quiet, unneeded night at Dover. Drivers all over each other early here tonight at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Everybody seeming to begin to get single file now. Everybody trying to chase down Darren Clement and Roy Fernandez, who have stepped away from the field. Fernandez with almost a 3/4 of a second advantage over Mike Rominger. As we're watching Todd Cray look to the inside of Justin Gann, and he will take that spot away. Move Cray up to 4th. The 42 A-Shock of David Elliott sitting right there in 7th position has Tommy Haynes and Jason Stewart right behind him. And look at this, Justin Gann moving to the rear of the field already. The 30 heading backwards. Here comes the 42. He's going to have a look to the outside. Let's see what he does. Does he take the opportunity to go to that high side? That's the question. If you do, when do you do it? And how aggressive are you going to be on this old, abrasive, highly characteristic track? I was having trouble with characteristic track. There we go. Big gaggle of cars right here. Justin Gann, David Elliott, Tommy Haynes, Jason Stewart, Jackson Bell, John Wimbish all knotted up right here, running with each other. 6th all the way back through 11th place. Everybody jockeying for position, looking for somewhere to go. Chad Osborne begins to close in on Todd Cray, 4th and 5th. Going to go at it here very soon. Wimbish getting by Josh Weinrich getting by John Wimbish, I should say. How about Weinrich's drive to the front? He's already up 6 positions in 6. Now make it 7 laps on the board. If he continues this pace, look for that 84 to be knocking on the leader's door by the end, I would say, of about the first green flag run. We have been clean and green all night long so far. Very quick night, very early night. Only lap number 7 out of the 105 scheduled in tonight's official race distance. Things beginning to calm down at the front as Darren Clement has opened up his gap to right at 0.6 of a second. Roy Fernandez still enjoying over 3/4 of a second. Mike Rominger, he's got his hands full for the time being. Todd Cray beginning to walk him down. 22 was able to get down and around. The Toyota Camry of Chad Osborne was able to put that 5 machine back in the 5th position, and he was been able to step away and run down this 29. Todd Cray, he's here. If we remember last week, I believe Cray made maybe 2 laps at Darlington before he was already caught up, involved with an incident and out of the race. Cray has had a very up and down season, very up and down year. He's had his extreme highs going to victory lane 3 separate times this season, but it has had some significant lows as well, as we mentioned moments ago, out of the race at Darlington Raceway last time we were on the track. And he only made it, and it is official, looking back, 2 laps in the race is what he was accredited for, so very early trouble. We'll see if those woes go away for that 22 Infinite Warrior Pets for Paradise 22 Chevy Camaro of Todd Cray. Following a line of bow ties in front, 3 drivers in front, all sporting those Chevy emblems. We've got our fastest Toyota driver sitting back in 5th. Your fast forward of the night, Justin Gann, sitting back in the 6th position, battling with Jason Stewart. I'll tell you what, let's go back to this battle once again, race fans. This is where it's at. Tell you what, why don't we go high above the track? Drone cam here tonight. Do thank all the track officials for allowing us to bring in a couple of our turn 3 drone cams and have them out there above the track tonight, trying to bring you a little bit different perspective of how things go down right here at Atlanta Motor Speedway in the Solo Cup 105. Everybody going to make their way through 3 and 4, back through the tri-oval and across the start-finish line. A little view from the fans in the stands. Look at it, packed house here tonight. We have been sold out week in, week out. Here for every night with Swift Motorsports, fans flocking to the stands by the thousands to get their shot for a great race, as well as some post-race activities. We'll see how everybody fares out there tonight. We'll see if drivers are able to get the job done early and separate themselves, or if everybody seems to have a little bit of trouble. Once again, back to the action, up close and personal and up front. Check this out. Roy Fernandez, who has not really gained much ground, if any at all, on that 32 of Darren Clement, sitting in the second position right now. Rominger, Cray, and Osborne are slowly reeling them in, and Justin Gann, he has made his way back to the front of this field. Everybody beginning to work themselves back together. What do you say we jump around the track just a little bit? Here we go. Back to that battle with Gann, Osborne, Stewart, Elliott, Jackson, Bell involved in the 23 machine. There you can see him just in front of Tommy Haynes and Josh Weinrich sitting in that 84 machine. Weinrich back inside the top 12. He runs in 11th. His run to front has come to a crawl, however. Gained quick positions on the start of the race, 6 of them to be exact, and he has since stalled out right here, running in that 11th position. Justin Gann able to eventually get down to the bottom of the racetrack and out and away, almost into the outside wall goes David Elliott. That was close. Jason Stewart also going to take a spot away from the 5 of Chad Osborne. David Elliott now Jackson Bell in that 23 machine. What do you do right here? You notice that 5 being taken advantage of with the drivers heading to the bottom of the track. What do? Do you try to pinch this 42 on? Oh my gosh! Do you try to pinch him up the racetrack like we seen right there? That's what I mean. Almost contact. Wasn't contact, but it was all but contact. I'll tell you that much. Whoa! David Elliott, Jackson Bell, both drivers grab a handful heading down into turn number 3, trying to avoid going around here. Keeping an eye on that timing and scoring, race fans, because we're watching your top 4 begin to separate themselves 1.3 seconds back from Todd Cray. That's where you'll find all of these battling drivers, all the dueling drivers out there tonight at Atlanta Motor Speedway. You can see that. Well, that's a little bit awkward. Here I am thinking they're in the Camry, and those are the Toyota Supras out there on the track. What are you talking about, Dave? Getting with it. We've been watching the same race. I promise I am. You know, we could always have our Ford Camaro out there on track again if you would like. Just saying. Just saying. Able to make up another handful of positions very quickly is that 84 of Josh Weinrich. He's now into the 9th position, up 8 spots from where he started. Shotgun Sally all the way back in the 17th position. How about race leader? We haven't checked in with him in a while. Almost 3 wide back here off of turn 2. We're going to stay right here for a moment. Oh my goodness. Jackson Bell and Josh Weinrich going at it side by side on the racetrack. They'll drag race to the start-finish line. Give it to Bell at the line for the moment. Little bit of connection issue there for that 23. He'll go up the track in his TRD Toyota Supra. Looking to his inside, though. Can he get the job done? Weinrich not able to get the power down off a corner exit. He'll have to regroup and re-attack here in about another lap, maybe even sooner. And as we are inching closer to a quarter of the way through tonight's race, we can already see 2 drivers heading to pit lane. The 00 of Nick Hunt and the 97 of Ron Shute both to pit road here. Trying to keep our eye on the stopwatches, make sure we keep an eye on the pit crews out there. Looks to be a very quick stop for Nick Hunt, possibly fuel only in his box for about 9 seconds here. So we're going to have to see how this shakes out for that 00 and whether or not his fuel strategy or his race strategy ends up being a race-winning strategy here in about another, about another 80 laps or so, somewhere right in that range, right at a quarter of the way through tonight's race. What do you say we head up front, race fans, give you a little look at how everything is running down here tonight in the top spot. He started from the pole position. The Busch GTR Simulator Infinite Heroes sponsored 32. Darren Clement snatches the pole. He's led every lap here tonight. Can Clement continue his winning performance so far? We'll see how he goes the rest of the night. Back running in second at the moment, the Cuban Missile Rocket. Lansing, Michigan's very own Roy Fernandez has that Black Rifle coffee. Bass Pro Shops number 3 sitting in second, but he has got a fast, hard-charging Mike Rominger right there running in the 3rd spot. He has begun to reel in Fernandez, and we're going to have ourselves a battle for 2nd and 3rd here very, very shortly. Don't count this gentleman out. He's made up 2 spots since the drop of the green flag. Todd Cray looking to please the millions of Cray fans out there. Will we be going Cray in victory lane? I'm sorry, I had to do it. Tonight, if he's able to capture his 4th flag of the year. For the moment, 22 sits in 4th. 5th place as they go around the track. The Virginia Beach native inside that Ayers High Racing Paints RB Custom Rigs number 30. Justin Gann looking to start his championship run off on the right foot. Driver that has made the most passes, the biggest mover of the race so far here tonight. It's no secret. We've mentioned his name multiple times here so far. There you can see him right there on screen, the 84 of Josh Weinrich, now up 10 positions. He is inside the top 10. He is knocking on the door of the top 5. Weinrich runs in 7th. And well, that's going to do it for a little bit of driver highlights and spotlights. Not much to do for the house cleaning side of things. 17 drivers took to the starting grid here tonight. We have still got all 17 drivers out there on the track. 2 drivers off of the lead lap, down multiple laps here that had to have had, these drivers had to have had some problems, some issues being marked that many laps down, 5 laps down, 7 laps down respectively for Ron Shute and Nick Hunt. So those 2 drivers almost in a pit that they're not going to be able to climb out as Weinrich clips the grass heading through the front stretch. Gaps at the front begin to build once again. Darren Clement is gone and away, but the battle for second continues to rage on. We've got a battle right here. 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, all over each other right now. You might as well go ahead from 5th all the way back to 11th. That's really what it is. Look at that gaggle of cars right there. Long string of drivers all the way back from Justin Gann. So really, your top 4 stepped out. They're gone. It's going to be hard-pressed to run them back down. 23 of Jackson Bell going to slide up the track right across the nose of Weinrich. He'll keep the 7th spot for the time being. I want to go up here real quick just for a second, race fans. Let's go to this battle back inside your top 3. As the 29 played any type of tire strategy. We've seen him lose a little bit of ground, but right now he is really got the pace. Last time around, both these drivers mirroring each other on the stopwatch, both running a 33.97 last time around, and that is faster than your race leader. Well, your race leader continues to step away. Mike Rominger indeed takes that 2nd spot away. Roy Fernandez already fading back almost a half a second, just that fast. Man, that is big time right there. That is absolutely big time. Really, it makes me wonder what's going on with the tires and fuel for these drivers. 33 laps into tonight's race. We are still clean and green so far here tonight in the Solo Cup 105 right here at Atlanta Motor Speedway on the Turn 3 Racing Network. You're watching Swift Motorsports Butt Kicker Silverback Tax Solutions Xfinity Series. Man, what a run. What a ride by all these drivers. Gaps beginning to develop everywhere. So I tell you what do you say we bring you some more of the action here? What do you say we watch as green flag pit stops begin to cycle themselves on through. Darren Clement pulls the pit road this time around. That's going to give us our first lead change of the night. Which brings us to, what's the strategy for these drivers out here that remain on track? And well, we're seeing what Mike Rominger's strategy is, and that's stay out one extra lap. He's going to go ahead and pull the pit road. We're going to have another new race leader for the first time here tonight. The Cuban Missile Rocket, Lansing, Michigan's very own Roy Fernandez getting the job done. He's back to the top spot, or in the top spot, I should say. Been running right there inside your top 3 pretty much the entire night, starting in that 3rd position. And Fernandez pits from point. Justin Gann going to go ahead and peel the pit road as well. Whoa, Fernandez. A little bit of a struggle there for a moment on pit road. Let's take a look back here at Darren Clement. Where's this 32 going to shake on out after his round of green flag pit stops? Entire field already down to pit road and back up to speed. Everything going to cycle itself right on out. It looks like the Busch 32 of Darren Clement will regain the race lead, as Fernandez, Gann, and Haynes all make their way off of pit road. There you can see the drivers out trying to get up to speed, just not able to get there just yet. Mike Rominger and Todd Cray, they're going to have to pull themselves out of a hole here And talking about a driver going to have to pull himself out of a hole, he was battling for second and third on the speedway before those round of green flag pit stops. And how about Roy Fernandez? We'll pull that timing and scoring back for you. Look at Fernandez. Back to sixth now, almost 7 seconds behind. And he was right at 1.3 seconds behind before that round of green flag pit stops. So asserting themselves on track in all aspects. Drivers inside of your top three. Darren Clement back to the point. Mike Rominger back to second with Todd Cray now rounding out your podium drivers. And with Darren Clement putting that 32 machine back on point, that will give us our third lead change of the night. Three different race leaders, and here comes that three of Fernandez looking to the high side of David Elliott, trying to take the final spot in the top five away. We'll see if he can get the job done. The 10 of Gary May fighting hard. One lap down, sitting in the 15th position. 62 of Stephen Ayers Jr. also listed one lap down in the lucky dog position. Should we see one of those pesky yellow flags fly? Oh, and into the wall contact. The 10 smacks the outside safer barrier. He'll keep it heading in the right direction, but stacked up right now. David Elliott, Roy Fernandez throwing it down for the final spot inside the top five. Jackson Bell just off in front of them. Todd Cray rounds out your top three. Look at the gap now. Darren Clement came to pit road on lap number 33, and he has now found himself out to almost a 3.5 second advantage. We're trying to see where it really came from. Rominger stayed out on track one lap longer than what Darren Clement did. And looking at Rominger's time, he was about 0.3 of a second faster in his pit box. On and off pit road, though, Darren Clement, that's where he made up a lot of ground right there. He's going to shave that down to being just a 0.2 of a second advantage on and off pit road for Rominger. But yet, the 1 lap difference on the tires, 1.3 seconds before the green flag pit stops, 3.3 after, so a 2-second gain by coming to pit road 1 lap early. We'll have to see if some of the crew chiefs put some of that in their ball cap. We'll have to see if that comes out a little bit later on throughout tonight's race. I don't know if Weinrich is just, his transponder may not be working right now. Still being listed as not coming to pit road, although we seen him come down pit road, so we're not quite sure what all of that is about, but nonetheless, we'll continue to do what it do right here, back in that ninth position. That was Josh Weinrich. David Elliott in the 42 machine. There's the 23 of Jackson Bell. Chad Osborne, they go at it for a position on the track. Josh Weinrich getting behind Justin Gann, who's kind of fell to the wayside as well. We'll see if Gann makes another run towards the front about midway portion through this second green flag run right here from Atlanta Motor Speedway. You're watching the Solo Cup 105. Let's go to a battle around the track. What do you say I was going to go to a battle around the track, but it's right here in front of our face. No need to go anywhere. taking a look, I do believe maybe Roy Fernandez is beginning to close back in on Todd Cray. Fernandez stayed out there the longest out of your top 4 drivers. He stayed out to lap number 35. Rominger and Cray both on to pit road back at lap 34. Darren Clement to pit road before anybody. Lap number 33. So we'll see if the tire difference doesn't come back into factor for Fernandez at the tail end of this green flag run. Close side-by-side action right here. The 14 of Jason Stewart, Josh Weinrich right behind him, but Stewart and Elliott for the moment continue to squabble. Very well get in position there. You can see Chad Osborne just off in front. What do you say we take a look back off of the tail end of this Toyota Supra, looking at another Toyota trying to make himself a little bit better here tonight, trying to move himself up through the championship standings. Big run. Oh my goodness, out of the gases, Osborne. And, well, just like that, you wanted to see it? There it is. There they go. Jason Stewart, look at the gap already built, as now David Elliott on the high side. He's going to look to make it around. Ooh, a little bit of a squeeze play there by Osborne. And we'll watch that A-Shock 42 of David Elliott move a little closer to the front of this field. There's Weinrich and Gann going at it right behind Osborne. We're going to keep our eye right here for a second. Excuse me, for a second, trying to watch this side-by-side battle between Gann and Weinrich. We've done side-by-side battles all over the place right here. Jackson Bell, Jason Stewart going at it. David Elliott, Chad Osborne going at it. And now Justin Gann and Josh Weinrich have joined the fight. The only fight right now that Darren Clement is having is a fight to keep the windshield clean. He's hitting some bugs up there. We're hearing hit a couple of bumblebees. He's got some pollen on the windshield, and hopefully it doesn't obstruct any view. Hopefully it doesn't affect the pace inside of that bush. 32 Chevy Camaro, piloted by your pole sitter here tonight in the Solo Cup 105. That's right, Darren Clement looks to move himself towards the top of the point standings in the opening round here in Season 4's championship chase. That's right, race fans. Only 5 races left before we pick up some hardware and crown a king down at Homestead Miami Speedway. So if you haven't already, I don't know what you're waiting on, what you're waiting for. Go ahead and tell your friends. Tell your friends to tell their family. Tell their family to tell their friends' family, and so on and so forth. Go ahead and tweet it out. TikTok it if you want to. Head on over to the Turn 3 Racing Network. Join us in that quest to 3,000 subscribers. Show our drivers some love and appreciation. Drop them that thumbs up. Click subscribe. Smash the bell over there on the right-hand side. Get notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Whether it's myself, Dave, in the cave, or anybody else back at the Turn 3 headquarters, we do appreciate each and every one of you, each and every time you stop by. Doesn't matter what you're doing, even if it's just to say hey, or you're checking in on how your favorite driver's doing, how your favorite family members are doing, or how about just coming in to check things out. We do appreciate each and every one of you, week in, week out. Just good to see you out there. And I tell you what, good luck charms may not be in order just yet. We may not need to go see that witch doctor after all, as now Cray inside your top 5. Solid night all night long for that 22 machine. He's been in the top 5 since the drop of the green flag. Cray sits in 4th. Tell you what, we're going to mute the mics for a second. I haven't got you this in a while. You figure, why not? What better place than right here at Atlanta Motor Speedway, we're going to mute the mics. We're going to head a little closer to the track for a little bit of Turn It Up. And we'll look inside the office of your race leader, your pole sitter. Dominating performance here tonight. 58 laps into tonight's 105 lap event for the Solo Cup 105 right here from Atlanta Motor Speedway. Taking a look at the man in his office, getting the job done. Darren Clement sits in the top spot. Let's see what else we got. There's another little GoPro camera right over the right side shoulder of your race leader Darren Clement, as you've seen the 00 of Nick Hunt come up and around him. Hunt just recently onto pit road, so he has got much fresher tires than anybody else out there on track. More speed than anybody else on track right now inside of that 32 machine. That is your race leader, Darren Clement. We'll pull that timing and scoring back down for you over there on the left-hand side of your screen. You can check out some of the battles all over the track. As you can see, gaps beginning to take shape is I guess the proper word I'm looking for here. We've got gaps all through the front of this field. 2.5 seconds separate your top two drivers. Ron, your two Fernandez back in third. Well, that's another 2 seconds back. Over a second off of Fernandez's Cray. Another almost 2 seconds back to Justin Gann. And that's where you've got your first battle on track here tonight. Jackson Bell, Justin Gann, Josh Weinrich, all right here running with each other. 42 of David Elliott has lost a handful of positions. He's now down into the 8th spot as Chad Osborne looks to close in to a more solid top 10 finish so far here tonight. Clean and green for all 61 laps that are on the board. Will we see tonight's race go flag to flag? That is the question. The 14 of Jason Stewart. A solid stop for him and his crew. He's down and away already, getting back up to speed. And it looks like nobody popped by the pit road police just yet here tonight. So I wonder if drivers playing it safe early, and maybe we'll see a handful of them push the limits, or if everybody's going to keep it clean all night long. What do you say we go back up here with this battle out of the TRD Toyota Super driver, Jackson Bell. Great run so far here tonight. Up 4 spots from where he qualified back in 10th. Solid showing, solid night for him and his crew. We said we were going to check in on it. What do you say we go take a look real quick? Track temperature increasing here tonight. The track temperature has went up. I believe it's been 7 degrees actually. Was it 123 or 128? I can't remember. They're in in qualifying. What the track temperature was, but I do know it has increased. I wonder if that's throwing a few of the drivers for a loop out there on the track tonight. Everybody continues to chase your pole sitter at the front of this field. You're watching Swift Motorsports Butt Kicker Silverback Tax Solutions Xfinity Series live right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. What a run by all of these drivers so far here tonight. And as we said moments ago, you're really starting to see some of those gaps build between drivers. You're really starting to see the field begin to get itself spread out. You can see the 14 of Jason Stewart. He is making his way around cars on track, but he is only getting his lap back to these drivers. Stewart listed off of the lead lap back in 14th. Second driver, 1 lap down, 62 of Stephen Ayers Jr. still has the lucky dog position, running in 13th. Tommy Haynes is 17. Supra rounding out the drivers on the lead lap back in the 12th position. Green flag pit stops looming in the air. How long will your race leaders, will your front runners extend this second fuel run? And if I was a betting man, which I'm not really a betting man unless I know it's a for sure thing, and then, well, it's not really betting, it's called guaranteeing. I'm just saying. But if I could bet, I would say look for that 32 of Clement to come to the pit road here in about now. And, well, clockwork, there he comes. 32 of Darren Clement going to come to pit road. Ooh, close. Look at Weinrich push the envelope hard on the brakes right at the line. We'll have to make sure he didn't get pumped by the pit road police. Mike Rominger going to reassume the race lead back at the front once again. That's going to give us our 4th lead change of the night. And, well, there's gaps everywhere now. No battles to speak of. 3.2 seconds separate Rominger to Fernandez. Todd Cray 3 seconds back, 1.5 seconds back. I apologize, from Fernandez. Justin Gann, another half a second back off of Cray. As Chad Osborne comes to pit road that last time around in his box now. Right side goes up. Tires come off. Right side tires on. Car down and away to the other side. Lifting up the lefts. Tires off. Tires on. Fuel man shaking his head. Down and away, and Osborne leaves pit road. Mike Rominger going to pull to pit road this time around. That's going to put Roy Fernandez back in control of the race lead. The Bass Pro Shops Black Rifle Coffee. There you go. I can spit it out. I can say it. Black Rifle Coffee machine back to the point once again, and I would have to agree out there, boss man. Clement is just quick here at Atlanta tonight. I'm not sure if it's the package that we're running here tonight. I'm not quite sure what it is. Not that we don't expect Darren Clement to do well. That's not what I'm saying here. Is we've seen dominating performances over the past handful of weeks. When drivers seem to be at the front and winning, they seem to be winning and winning big. And it looks like trying to continue that trend As Fernandez comes to pit road this time around, we'll check back in with Darren Clement because Jason Stewart, he came to pit road 7 laps sooner than your race leader. Does Stewart have enough to get to the point of no return and capture a checkered flag here tonight? Be the first victory for that 14 crew this season. First victory for the 32 of Darren Clement as well, if he can park that 32 machine back in victory lane. And there you go. Stewart took the race lead for a moment. We had our 4th different race leader, and whoa! Darren Clement said, there you go. There's your lap lead. I'll take that back. Thank you, sir. Right on back around and already stepping away from the driver with much older tires, already 10 lap older tires. That is giving up a ton of time right now for Jason Stewart. We'll have to see how that all cycles out for him. I think he's going to have to come to pit road at about right at lap 90, so he's going to have just a short run to the end. We'll see how it all plays out for him and his crew. Darren Clement and the rest of the field looks like they're going to need some more fuel. I was going to say they might be able to stretch it, but I don't think we're going to see anybody stretch it about 41 laps on a fuel run. So unfortunately, everybody's got to watch that RPM gauge one more time. Everybody has to be very cognizant of the drivers they are racing with. And we'll see who grabs a few more positions. Let's go back to this 23 of Jackson Bell. Bell trying to close in on Weinrich. There you can see Josh now inside of a top 5. We knew he was going to head to the front. We called it. And there he is. Lap number 75. Sitting in 4th position, up 13 spots. My job. Well done for Weinrich and that 84 crew. Man, what a run, what a night. And I tell you what, this is where I get really confused on strategies and the way things are going. Todd Cray, let's go take a look at Todd Cray. There he is, way back there, all the way back at the start-finish line, now heading down into 1 and 2, sitting all the way back in 10th. After running inside the top 5 almost all night long. Has the 22 given up on his prior strategy? Are we watching him begin to save fuel? Drivers were able to make it right at 33 to 37 laps on fuel. Todd Cray came to pit road on lap number 70. He might have enough to get there to the end. I don't think Darren Clement or Jason Stewart, well, as a matter of fact, I don't think anybody inside your top 6 are going to be able to make it on fuel. We'll see. I mean, there again, I could be wrong. I was wrong that one time. You know, that one time I thought I was wrong about that. So, I mean, hey, people make mistakes. Nick Hunt way off strategy here tonight. The 00 going to pull back to pit road, and he will fall more laps down here tonight. The 00 of Nick Hunt listed 7 laps down, and he's going to need a big time run at Dover. He may all but need a race win. Ron Shute, also one of those drivers that may very well need a race win to continue moving on and chasing after the hardware here this season, continuing chasing after a championship trophy. Chasing after a trophy. Tonight, Darren Clement, he is not having any of it. 5.5 second advantage for the Busch Light 32 of Darren Clement. If you're looking for a great league to try to partner with, great series to run in, if you're looking to rub elbows with some very fast, talented race drivers, look no further than right here with Swift Motorsports. You can find them on Facebook.com. You can also find them right here on the world's #1 racing simulator, iRacing.com. All you gotta do is just head on over to the lead directory, type in Swift Motorsports, send them an invite, get a hold, an application, get a hold of one of these admins, one of these league owners, series organizers, and we'll see if we can't find you out on track here on turn 3. Well, we're starting to see a small battle begin to develop. Josh Weinrich slowly closes in on that 23 of Jackson Bell. Bell doing well to hold on to the 4th spot for now, but will Weinrich take the position away? And will these drivers make their final green flag pit stop? Under 25 to go. And he ain't got nowhere to go. He can Sunday drive this thing from here on out. He's got a ton of time that he can give up if he needs to. 7.5 seconds out front. Absolutely gone. It's going to take a caution flag or a pit road penalty to turn things topsy-turvy for that 32 of Darren Clement. 7.5 second race advantage here at Atlanta Motor Speedway in the Solo Cup 105. Mike Rominger sitting in second. Jason Stewart rounds out your podium drivers. Jackson Bell, Josh Weinrich finishing out your top 5. David Elliott, Roy Fernandez, Justin Gann, Chad Osborne, and Todd Cray round out your top 10 into pit road for what should be his final stop of the night. Darren Clement brings his Camaro into the attention of his pit crew. And now we'll get trackside once again. There's the 29 of Mike Rominger. He'll go back to the point one more time. That's going to be our 8th different lead change of the night. Big stack up back there. Did you see the stack up? I believe that was Jason Stewart with a lap car. Let's check it out. Yes, it is. That is indeed Jason Stewart, who's going to pull to pit road this time on around. Jackson Bell, what's he do? Looks like he's going to stay out on track. Weinrich's going to stay out on track. Fernandez stays on track as well. Back at the point with your race leader. 20 to go. Lap number 86 gonna go on the board this time around. 87 gonna pop up this time as race leader Mike Rominger makes his way through 3 and 4. Will he stay out on track or will he head to pit lane this time? No, he's gonna stay out on track. He's gonna stretch this thing on out a little bit further. Jackson Bell and David Elliott to pit road. Nick Hunt trying to get one of his laps back. He's going to do so right here. Put himself just 7 laps down now. As we have a handful of drivers off of the lead lap. Jason Stewart in the 14 machine listed in the lucky dog position back in 13th. And we should see a handful more drivers fall off of the lead lap as Mike Rominger continues to stretch this final green flag run here. 18 laps now to go, and it appears, for all intents and purposes, that 29 is clutching something fierce. I tell you what, we're gonna jump on board and cheat. What do you say? Way out of the gas very early. and look at the throttle input, race fans. You don't see that RPM gauge start climbing immediately coming out of the center of the corner all the way through the exit. You see him just barely squeezing it, just barely getting that needle to bounce and begin to build nice and slow pace there. Not completely in fuel saving mode, but he is definitely saving some fuel. Who else can we cheat with here tonight? What do you say we go back to our good buddy? I believe we do have an onboard camera shot. Let's see if we can hear the engine. On board with Todd Crane, the 22 machine running in the 5th position. And you can hear the modulation of the throttle right there. Todd Cray had to let out of the gas just a little bit, and that allowed the 42 machine to make his way down and around him. David Elliott has been to pit road for his 3rd and what should be final stop of the night. Todd Cray may still have to come down to pit road. We'll see how the fuel strategy plays out for all of these drivers. With less than 15 laps remaining here in the opening round of the championship chase in season number 4 for Swift Motorsports Butt Kicker Silverback DAC Solutions Xfinity Series, Mike Rominger leads the field. Roy Fernandez back in 2nd. Justin Gann, Josh Weinrich, and the man on screen, Todd Cray, round out your top 5. No real battles for position to speak of. We've got a few drivers mixing it up with each other, not really on the lead lap with each other, or I should say the passes taking place are not for position at the moment. And where is your pole sitter? Where is that dominant 32 Busch Light? The Chevy Camaro looks like Clement all the way back in 6th right now, waiting for this green flag pit cycle to finish itself out, to come back to him for the race, to come back to him for the top spot, to come back to him right now. Darren Clement, almost 2 seconds faster than your race leader, Mike Rominger. Clement, he's not playing any games. He is going to get there one way or another. But will we see anybody in your top 5 hit pit road for their 3rd and final stop? Or are they going to try to stretch this thing out to just a 2-stop race tonight? That is the question. That's what I want to know. And it looks like we're going to stay out on track here. The 29 of Mike Rominger going to get the double high 5 this time around. That's right, 10 laps remaining. The boss man in the flag stand, waving both arms at these drivers, letting them know, hey, it's 10 to go. If you want to do something, you better get it done. Time running out here tonight for anybody to try to keep Darren Clement out of victory lane. Right now, the strategies are working for your top 5 drivers on track. Mike Rominger right here on screen, front and center. He leads this field. Roy Fernandez, who had a solid night all night long, as well sits back in that 2nd position. Justin Gann back to 3rd. Josh Weinrich, very fast Toyota Supra here tonight. Todd Cray rounding out your top 5. Very fast here tonight. Are any of those drivers gonna have to pull the pit road and give up a handful of positions late in tonight's race? We'll have to see how it all shakes out, how how it all unfolds, really. I mean, who's got enough fuel and who doesn't, I think is what this is going to boil down to. Otherwise, it is all but Darren Clement's race to throw away a 5.4 second advantage over John Peel, who sits in that 7th position. And he would love to see those top 5 drivers hit pit road, because John Peel may very well be sitting in the 2nd place catbird seat, if you like. I mean, he'll still need a caution to try to catch back up to Darren Clement. But is that going to say the same for the entire field? I mean, to catch up to current race leader Mike Rominger. I mean, Rominger, he is out there 1.3 seconds. We're going to stay right here with Roy Fernandez, though. Fernandez has been a touch faster lap after lap. He is slowly reeling back in that 29 machine. Fernandez does have a little bit more fuel than that 29 of Mike Rominger. So now just 6 laps remaining. Oh, there he is. There he is. You can see him just off in the distance. We're cued in on him now. There's the 5 of Mike Rominger creeping into the picture. There he is. Roy Fernandez in that black Rifle Coffee Company Bass Pro Shop wrapped Camaro. Man, can he do it? And if you're Rominger and you look up in the rearview mirror, what do? You had over a 2-second advantage. You have watched it all but go away. And now you are down with the final laps going away as well off of turn 4 this time around. Mike Rominger will see the 4 horsemen. 4 laps remain here in the Solo Cup 105, brought to you by BUTTKICKER here with Swift Motorsports. You're watching the Silverback Tax Solutions Xfinity Series. Do want to thank you to each and every single one of you that has tuned in here tonight, and not just here tonight, but each and every night all over the world. We do appreciate each and every one of you that spend the time with us, that come to check things out, come to support your family, your friends. Without you, there'd be no us. So again, from all of us back at the Turn 3 headquarters, we do appreciate each and every one of you. And here we go. 3 laps remaining. Business is about to pick up, because we're going to have a battle for that top spot with 2 drivers that may potentially run out of gas. You can't write a race story much better than this off of turn number 4. The boss man in the flag stand gonna put them on display. That's right, popsicle sticks for your race leader, Mike Rominger, as he crosses the line this time around. Just 2 laps to go. Fernandez, he is there, but it just looks like he is struggling to close those final few tenths. Oh man, can Fernandez get there? He is 0.3 of a second back and closing off of 4, and there is the white flag. Final lap is the one to go here from Swift Motorsports, Atlanta Motor Speedway Chase race number 1, the Solo Cup 105, and we've got a battle for the race lead on the final lap down the backstretch. Here comes Fernandez. Can he get to the tail end of that 29 of Mike Rominger? He is right there. He is all over him, looking to the bottom through 3 and 4. Not gonna get there. He'll slide up the track. Rominger, oh boy, gonna cross the line about a half a car length in front of Roy Fernandez. Fernandez just falling short, not from lack of effort. Job well done inside of that 3 machine. But how about the run by your new first time race winner this season here in season number 4 for Swift Motorsports Butt Kicker Silverback Tax Solutions Xfinity Series. Mike Rominger gets the job done. He parks that 29 in victory lane. Man, what a job well done. That is amazing. And as Rominger gives the fans in the stands a little bit of a smoke show, well, no, looks like he may have been out of gas, so no smoke show, and, well, we're going to step away for just a brief commercial break, get things set up and ready to go for your post-race interviews. Don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be right back. And back trackside, we come at the conclusion of another great race here with Swift Motorsports. The Butt Kicker Silverback Tax Solutions Xfinity Series did not disappoint here tonight in the Solo Cup 105. Job well done by all of the drivers out there tonight. But I tell you what, let's see if we can dial up and have a few words with some of the drivers that walked away in podium spots. Let's see if we can dial up your good buddy, my good buddy. We talked to him last week. We'll talk to him again here tonight. Justin, it's Dave. How you doing, man?
I'll take a podium. So I'm doing pretty good.
I was going to say, well, whether you'll take it or not, it looks like you're going to get one.
Oh yeah. It was definitely an interesting race. A lot of strategies going on. So glad it worked out for me to get third place. Just didn't have the speed there at the end.
Now, you mentioned there a lot of different strategies. Coming into tonight's race, did you and your team have a set strategy, and at any point was it ever changed? Did you ever have to deviate from it, change up what you were thinking about doing?
Yeah, we were all kind of on different strategies, hoping one would work out and we'd be able to get a win. So it just depend on, really the drivers. Sometimes some guys are a little bit better at saving fuel than others. So, if we knew we weren't going to be able to save the fuel, we went ahead and took the extra stop and tried to win it on tires. But it looked like most of the guys up front there were the guys that were able to stretch it out. So, kudos to them because it was definitely not easy stretching that fuel out and trying to keep speed at the same time.
Yeah, maintaining pace and keeping the rubber on the tires can be a pretty rough. But then you add on trying to save fuel too. That's something that I don't want any parts of, and well, that's why I'm not in the car.
Yeah, and it seemed like the car was loose all night, even trying to save fuel, man. It was such a slick track on the back stretch, and coming out of the corners. It was just all around. It was a tough race and no cautions, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Great way to kick off the championship chase and the run to the hardware here for the Silverback Tax Solutions Xfinity Series. Justin, job well done. Another podium for you and your crew. So before we let you go and move on and look forward to Dover, would you like to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, thank anybody back home or at the shop?
Yes, sir. I'll thank the sponsors, Airs Racing Paints for sponsoring the car tonight. We got sponsor of the series, Silverback Tax Solution and BUTTKICKER. I want to thank 4X, my teammates, for all the support during the race. And then I want to thank you at Turn 3 for putting on the broadcast, and all the admins and everyone behind the scenes over here at Swift Motorsports for putting on this league.
Absolutely. Well, I know everybody else appreciates hearing the kind words. I appreciate the kind words, Justin. I know the fans in the stands and the millions watching around the world. Well, maybe not millions, but the people that love us anyway. Great race from you here tonight, and we look forward to trying to see if we can't catch up with you in over the next final 4 races.
Appreciate it, Dave.
All right, there you have it. Justin Gann in the Airs iRacing Paints RB Custom Rigs 30 Ford Mustang gets the job done, walks away third on the track. Another podium on the season for him. And that's going to move us right on along in these post-race interviews. We're going to see now if we can't catch up with the man himself. We talked to him just last week. We'll talk to him one more time. And, well, he's living up to it. He said he was going to spoil the show for some of these Chase competitors, and here he is again. Mr. Fernandez, how you doing, bro?
Hey, Dave, I'm doing well.
A heck of a run by you all night long. You were inside the top 5 all night long, qualified well as well. At what point in tonight's race did you change any of your strategy? Because it seemed like there in that first little green, before the first round of green flag pit stops, it seemed like you had some good pace, and then it looked like you backed down just a little bit. When exactly did you finalize this race strategy?
Yeah, I was probably about 10 laps in. I was talking with my crew chief and figuring out, hey, where are we at with the laps? How many laps can we get out of this tank here on the first run? How many could we probably get out of the second run? And that's when we noticed, we're consistently hitting around 33 to 34. If we can stretch it out, get 36, maybe 35, we would probably turn this into a two pit stop. So we decided to just take a little bit easier, let off a little bit more, create some distance and separation between some of the other drivers, and still keep some momentum up there. And yeah, it played out great for us. Hats off to Mike for surviving and getting that win tonight. Congrats to him. He did a heck of a job. But yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, an absolute great run, Roy. Even with saving the fuel and the tires at the end of the night, making it a two-stop race, you almost ran down that race leader. Man, you think you would have had it if you had, let's say, 3 more laps.
Yeah, I gotta say, I would have had a little bit something for him there towards the end. I gave a little bit more gas than I probably should have as well, and I got a little loose and tapped the wall slightly on the rear end. So I know I was just giving him more than I really needed to. If I probably would have done a little bit different angle approach, or maybe like 1 or 2 more laps, like you were saying, I'd probably get that run right off of the corner and be able to park it in victory lane.
Well, again, Roy, congratulations on another podium here with Swift Motorsports BUTTKICKER Silverback Tax Solutions. So before we let you go, would you like to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, thank anybody back home or at the shop?
Yeah, for sure. I got to thank Swift Motorsports for hosting the league, their series, all 4. They do a great job. Administration team, Don, Andy, Justin, the owner, and I got to thank my teammates with the ECM Motorsports, Darren and Todd. We do a pretty good job communicating, trying to get at least consistently top 5, top 3 in the races every night. And I got to thank you as well, Dave. You do put on a great show on there for us, and make sure you make us look pretty good when we're turning left. And obviously, I always got to thank the wife, Dave. Never forget the wife.
Never forget the wife. First and foremost, we'll we'll work you into that one. A couple smacks on the back of the head, and you'll list her first, I promise. But nonetheless, Roy, we do appreciate the kind words. And it's easy when you have an easy, great product to bring to the masses. So with all of the love you guys give us, we're going to give it right back. Without you guys on track putting out the product, we wouldn't have a great broadcast for these fans to watch. And Roy, as always, again, congratulations, and we'll see if we can catch up with you in these final 4 races.
Appreciate it, Dave. You have yourself a great night.
All right, there you have it. The Cuban Missile Rocket, Roy Fernandez, gonna park that Black Rifle Coffee Bass Pro Shop number 3 home in the second spot tonight, and rounding out your top finishers, walking away with his first win on the season, Mike Rominger in the 29. It's Dave. How are you feeling after snatching that first checkered flag?
Feels pretty good. It's a good way to start out the chase. Hopefully it gets me to the second round.
It's a great way to start the chase off. I'm going to look over through the point standings, and it looks like you're one of those drivers that was kind of knotted up there right at that 1,000 mark. So, I mean, this is going to vote well, going to put you, I would probably say, inside one of the top 3 positions. So you might need to have a pretty solid night, but I think some pressure will be relieved from you at Dover. So knowing that, how are you going to approach these next few races?
I think the same way. I think if you go conservative, you get yourself in trouble more often than not. So I think I'll just go about the same way as I always do.
Well, Mike, it looked like fuel mileage strategy got you the first win on the season here, coming right at the right time. What time in tonight's race did you decide that you were going to take this from a 3-stop to a 2-stop?
Well, on that first run, I didn't know exactly what kind of fuel mileage I was going to get. I knew if I could get to 35, I had a chance to get, just stop twice. And so, I got to 34, and I knew if I got on pit road and crossed the line, it'd be 35. And I thought, well, I got a chance to make it on 2. So that's what I did. And on that last run, I just conserved the fuel enough. I had just enough. I ran out right at the line on the last lap. So,
well, none to spare, and that's all you needed. So job well done, walking away with the first win of the season, as we said, coming at the right time to kick things off for the championship chase here in season number 4. So before we let you go and celebrate the night away and enjoy this race win, Mike, is there anybody you'd like to thank, give a special shout out, you're welcome, love you, anything like that?
Yeah, I'd like to thank you guys up in the booth for putting on the show every week, and the admins and teammates down in performance, and Silverback Tax Solutions for putting up sponsorship for this series, and yeah, it's a whole lot of fun. I'm glad to get a win this season. I kind of wanted to get one in my first season here, and I did, and I'm pretty happy.
All right. Well, my man, we'll see if you can't ride the momentum wave and get back into a top spot before the season's out. We've got 4 more races to go. Mike, we'll see if we can't catch up with you once again trackside.
Thank you.
All right, there you have it. Final words from a first-time winner this season. Mike Rominger gonna park that 29 Xfinity machine in the top spot. Gonna walk away from the Solo Cup 105 with the checkered flag. Job well done, my friend. And you can already hear producers hitting those familiar tunes in the background, so let's go ahead and run down tonight's unofficial race results right here from Atlanta Motor Speedway in Swift Motorsports BUTTKICKER Silverback Tax Solutions Xfinity Series. Top spot, checkered flag for the first time, belongs to the 29 of Mike Rominger. Roy Fernandez going to park the 3 in second. Third place here tonight to Justin Gann. Todd Cray comes home in 4th with Josh Weinrich rounding out your top 5. The 32 of Darren Clement, dominating performance. Pole sitter and all, but walked away in 6th after the race strategy didn't quite pan out. The 7 of John Peel going to finish right there in 7th. 8th place belongs to the 14 of Jason Stewart. Walking away from the track here tonight in 9th position is the 17 of Tommy Haynes. And rounding out your top 10 here in the Solo Cup 105 from Atlanta Motor Speedway is the 23 of Jackson Bell. 42 of David Elliott comes home in 11th. 12th place tonight to Chad Osborne. John Wimbish gonna park the 56 in 13th. The 10 of Gary May walks away from the track in 14th. 15th tonight, the 62 of Steven. Wait a minute. Chad Osborne in 12th. John Wimbish back in 13th. 14th to Gary May. Stephen Ayers Jr. going to walk away 15th on track here tonight. Ron Shute parks the 97 in the 16th spot. 17th and final driver in the field, the 00 of Nick Hunt. Big tip of the cap, thank you, and you're welcome to the admins and race officials just down the hall. Great job all year long, fellas. A little bit of a light work night for you two down the hall, but that's how it goes sometimes. Hope you enjoyed being able to kick your feet up and enjoy the great racing action out there on the track. Andy Starcher, Don Kidder, thank you and you're welcome for all you do. If you haven't already, race fans, go ahead. You know you want to. Join us in that push to 3,000 subscribers. Show these drivers some love and drop them a thumbs up. Click subscribe. Get at it and smash that bell on the right-hand side. Get notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Whether it's myself, Dave in the Cave, or anybody else back at the Turn 3 headquarters, we do appreciate each and every one of you. Each and every time you stop by, we're going to get ready for Dover next week. We're going to wind up the cords and head on out. So until then, race fans, stay safe, stay loved, my friends, and until next time, we'll meet you in Turn 3.